In this video, we are going to talk about variables. But before diving into the details, let us understand the reason for which we need variables. And to demonstrate this, I've created a folder called variables, and I will create a file as well and call this a variable.js. You can give this whatever name you are comfortable with, and I will have console.log, and in our console.log I'm gonna have my name is John Brown. If this was our applications, we have no problem. In fact, we have no reason of using a variable. But imagine in the case where we have a programs that mention John Brown thousands of times, and John Brown decided to change his last name. Do we have to go and then change the last name manually in the thousands of positions within our code? No, it's not possible. And for that, we need variables. That's what makes variable very important throughout a programming. So let us see what we are talking about. We will have another console or log, and in here we are gonna have John Brown love to code. And now we have two sentences. Imagine the example we just gave. John Brown appears in the first sentence and the second sentence. So if John Brown changed his last name to maybe, let us say, Ben, and then we have to come in the second example and change this to Ben. Again, if he changes his last name to Doe, we also need to change this to Doe. You see how complex this is? For that reason, we need a variable. And to demonstrate that, let us understand a few things. Above, I'm going to have a comment here. And in our comment, we will have let var and const. By the way, we are not diving into the difference between let, var, and const. But what I want you to understand is that to declare a variable, we need to use these three keywords, and we will see the difference in our upcoming video called scope. So for now, our key focus is just on understanding variable, and we are going to choose a var to demonstrate until we arrive at the scope video. So to declare a name variable, let's assume we want to have a full name. We can say var, and here we will have full, full name, and we can set the full name to a John Doe. And since John Doe is a string, we have JOHNDOE. Or better still, we can have John Brown ROWN as our first example. And what we need to do now is to change this position that we have John Brown with full name. We have to change this to full name. And to do that, we can just come in here and say plus full name. Now we have our variables. The same goes for the second sentence. We can have John, a full name, plus I love to code. So if we save this and try to execute this in our terminal, to create a space, let us remove the navigation session and the life, and yep. So let us see. We need to enter the variables a folder. So for that, we can say cd variables. And now we are in the variable. If we list, we can see our file called variables.js. And we will type node mon variable. And as we press enter, now we can see in our console, my name is John Brown. John Brown loves to code. So previously, as you saw, if we want to make any change to this code, we need to manually change the position that have a John Brown everywhere in our code. So let us say John Brown have changed his last name to John Doe. And we save this. Now you can see we don't have to come in our code and then manually change. As long as we change here, wherever place that we represent the full name is going to take effect with the changes that have been made in the variables above. So now you can see my name is John Doe. John Doe love to code. Now, we need to understand a few things before concluding with variables, and that is the declaration of variables. So if you get variable declaration, that means we have just the name. So this is how we declare a variable. We have the keyword, let, or var, or const, and then whatever name. By the way, this name is based on your own preference, but I choose to go with full name because it is meaningful to have full name. If we just want to store a user first name, we can have first name. So if we have a number, we can have probably a person age, we can have age represented in the position of full name. So this is how we declare a variable. And to assign a variable, let us come below and have full name, and then we will have equals to John Doe. This is how we declare a variable. And the name that we give here is called, this is the variable. This is the container that stores the value of whatever inputs we are going to have in this space on the right hand side of the equal symbols. So, but we can do this on a single line, as you saw previously. We can define and declare, we can define and initialize on a single line. And for that, you saw this is how we declare and initialize on the same line. So there are other examples I would love to display. Let us say we want to have a name. So we can say var or age, not name, but age, A-G-E, age. And the user age probably is 10. And we want to display the user age. So we can say console.log user age is, and on here we can have age, AGE. So now you might have another concern. Why do we have a plus sign between the screen user age is as well as the variable? This is called concatenation. We are trying to join together two values and then print out. This is a value syntax in a JavaScript. There are other ways that we are going to see in the future, but for now, understand that this is one way that we can print out a screen plus a variable in JavaScript. So with this, I guess you have understood the importance of variables and why do we need a variable. With this, let us meet in the next video. I'll see you.